Good morning. Good morning, you little peepers. Little chickadees. Good morning. Nerdy, this one's for you. Everyone be quiet. This one's for Nerdy. Nerds. Okay. I'm Sandy. Sandy, one special one's coming for you. Here we go. All right, Sand. Big Sand, you should be up by now. Okay. There you go. Derek Anderson, I know you sort of feel left out. Don't. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. If I didn't mention your name, it's because I'm out of control. Okay? Happy birthday to Herbie Werby Burby Kabop Broken Burby. What? Herbs, today's your birthday? Tell the truth. November 7th? Is that today, November 7th? Is it Herbie's birthday today? Man, why didn't you tell us? I don't know if Pop Croons is anywhere near. Happy birthday, Derek. Herbs. Herbie the Wrench. Hey, should Herbie have to work on his birthday? Should he still have to be the wrench today? Peter Olmstead, there's my friend. Pete will handle that later. Jonathan K. Man, that guy is all day. Midlife. Larry, I see the Tedford coming through. It's simple, Neil. It's simple. Good morning. Who wants to play the scale game today? Give me 5 people. Oh, good one, Neil. Who wants to play the scale game soon? Okay, Herbie, you're still going to handle biz, even though you should be celebrating. Scale game. We'll do that a little bit soon. Scale game, Herbs. I'll drop you something. Happy birthday, my good friend, compatriot, colleague, pal o' mine. You get what I'm saying here.
It's Herbie's birthday?
It's Herbie's birthday.
It's Herbie's birthday!
Herbie's birthday! It's his birthday!
It's his birthday!
Birthday, Herbie!
Oh no, it's his birthday!
Herbie!
Happy
It's his birthday! Better than Pop Croons. Oh, Brock was looking high and tight right there, wasn't he? Good morning, happy birthday. In the late 1990s, they made a vending machine. Did you know that? They made a vending machine. Brock, you're looking tight this morning. What, do you have an appointment?
Thanks, guys. No.
Oh. Hey, do me a fave.
Yeah.
See that jar of grind? I need 2. Good morning. In 1990, a vending machine was created and tested by the Coca-Cola company. You're not going to like this machine. I don't like it. Can you imagine the people that sat around in their think tank and said, hey, this should be a good idea? You know what they did with this vending machine, Mike Baraball? Do you know what they did? Tell me if you would have thought of this, Mike. Mike, is this something you would have done? You're going to create a vending machine. And you're going to think, we'll put cool drinks in the vending machine. Okay. And then we're also going to put a thermometer outside the vending machine that's connected to the pricing. And the hotter it gets outside, the more it's going to cost for the drink in the machine. No. No, Michael. Michael's like, do it. Pops, I want 4 of them. What? Flex pricing, nerdy. Is that's what they call that? That's a good one. Flex pricing. Mike, you and I are on the same team. That's a mess. That's messed up. I'm not down with that machine for even no. Okay, I'm avoiding that machine. I don't care what the temperature is. I'll give you $1 for my soda. That's it. I'm bringing my own sodas. Did you know this? We were talking about bananas yesterday, right? Banana ketchup. Nerdy was so cool. Nerdy shows us nerdy swigs. I don't know. How many shots do you take per show, nerd? Nerdy? How many shots do you take per show of the banana ketchup? How much? He had his little shot glass. You guys didn't notice the shot glass, but he takes at least one. Boom. Nerd, that was cool. I never knew that there was such a thing. And then it started a whole thread of Jarupas or whatever. Interesting. Now I'm all banana freaked out. Bananas are freaking me out. How about the guy that's selling a banana for $1 million? Have you seen that thing? Where is it? I gotta show it to you. Did you see that? You guys saw that. I can't be the only one. Wait. Where's that banana art guy? This is probably the silliest thing I've ever seen. And I bet you Michael Allen loves it. I'm kidding, Michael. Where is this? Hold on. There it is. That right there. You walk into a museum and that's on the wall next to a bunch of $1 million paintings. That's on the wall. In the same museum as a bunch of $1 million paintings. They took duct tape. They duct taped a banana to the wall. Okay? It's a true story. Right now it's up to $1 million. They're going to be auctioning this off for $1 million. Okay? All right, I can do that right now. Listen. Wait a minute. We're going to do a deeper dive into this. This is the world we live in. Okay, that's some bullshit. Herbie, I was sending you one for a birthday present. I'm sending you a half a roll of duct tape and a gift certificate to go buy a banana, because by the time this banana got to you, it would be rotten. Okay? They asked the artist, how do you guarantee that banana doesn't turn rotten up there? You're not going to believe the answer. I would think that it's a special plasticized, that he spent some time somehow preserving it. It's the perfect art banana of all time. I would have thought there's something very special about this particular banana. The duct tape, we could probably get that at Home Depot. But I'm figuring there's got to be a preserve. Here's what the artist said. Oh, I just replace it every 3 days. What? You got a clutch of bananas. You got a thing of bananas. Today's the freshest one. Tape it up there. Keep the value up. I'm actually getting upset right now. I'm taking it personal. I'm going to stop. What the? That's what he said. I'm not making it up. I just changed the banana every 3 days. Midlife, what do they do with the half banana? I mean, the old banana. What do you do with it? Jeez. Okay, so that's the banana story. A little more about bananas. Did you know that the original Twinkie, it's got a vanilla filling in there, right? I love Twinkie, I gotta be honest. It's one of my go-to sneak snacks. Sneak snack. I like sneak a Twinkie now and then. I wouldn't have before World War II, however. I wouldn't have. Its original filling was banana flavored. Banana flavored. I don't want a banana flavored Twinkie. It's ruining the whole effect. In World War II, there was a banana shortage. So the people that made Twinkies started moving it, they moved it to vanilla, and that became the standard flavor. World War II. Got rid of the banana pie, and they turned it into a vanilla pie. Good morning, Nazliz. How about this one? Did you know? I didn't know this one. I love a Three Musketeers bar. I love me a good Three Musketeers bar. I got to be honest with you. I like it kind of crisp right out of the refrigerator. You know, where it's just a little crisp, actually. Perfect. Not melty. Anybody like Three Musketeers bars? I can't be the only one. Three Musketeers. It's Ava's new favorite. I gotta send Ava a gift certificate for some. Three Musketeers bar. I'm in. Count me in, Sandy. They're yummy. Did you know this, Matthew Seliger? I didn't know this. That the original in 1932, when M&M Mars invented the original Three Musketeers candy bar, it was originally packaged as 3 individual mini bars. One was chocolate, one was vanilla, and one was strawberry. Hence the name. The Three Musketeers. Boop, boop, boop. They're all in there. If I need one. If you could find me one of those bars from 1932, I'd rather have that than the banana that's taped on the wall. Okay? I'd rather have that. Midlife, I think they do sell that strawberry one once in a while, don't they? How about that, though? The Three Musketeers, from now on, every time I eat a Three Musketeers bar and I'm only getting one bar, I'm going to feel a little ripped off. I'll feel just slightly ripped off by M&M, Mars. I'll move on. How about this one? You guys, are you liking your rando factos this morning? See how they're flying at you? Give me 5 people that say, Pops, give us a couple more. 5 people. My daughter traded all her Halloween candy for Three Musketeers. I like your daughter. I like your daughter. Your daughter's... I actually would agree with her. Three Musketeers. The spiciest chip in the world. Did you hear me say chip? I didn't say chips. You know why? This thing is so spicy. This chip that they make is so spicy that they only sell one chip. They sell one chip, and it's packaged in something that looks like a coffin. Good luck. You might die if you eat one chip. It's called the Carolina Reaper Madness chip. It's so spicy that it's sold as a single and comes in a coffin-shaped package. The Reaper pepper actually holds the Guinness World Record for the hottest chili pepper on earth. And the Carolina Reaper Madness chip is also seasoned with ghost peppers. It wasn't enough just to do the one pepper. They had to throw a ghost pepper on there. Hey, wait, we're not done. We're going to also sprinkle some chipotle on there. Carolina Reaper Madness chip. Hey, you guys, some of you are in North Carolina and South Carolina. Is this North Carolina or South Carolina? Crazy wants to snort a line. That's, hey. Don't get me, hey, don't give me my, that's a, what do they call that? A trigger. Don't give me a trigger. Is that North Carolina or South Carolina? What the Carolina is going on around here? That's pretty crazy. I'll do a couple more. You want to hear this? South Carolina. Really? Derek Anderson, you're always the smartest guy in the room. You have to go hang out with Pidgey Page. How about this one? This is a little too... Come on, you guys. Could you please share? Do we believe in sharing here? Give me 5 people that say it's really important to share. If you have knowledge, it's only knowledge if you share it. If you hold on to it, it's just selfish facts. I don't want selfish facts. I want knowledge. I think sharing is caring. Right, Anthony? Don't hoard knowledge, Niff. Would you tell that to these 3 old Italian ladies? Which ones, Pops? Okay. I'll tell you who they are. The oldest and most difficult pasta to make is Italian pasta su filiendo. Pasta su filiendo. Also known as the thread of the gods. This sounds delicious. Pasta, the thread of the gods. I'm getting hungry again. Why do I keep talking about food and candy? The recipe is 300 years old, and only 3 women know how to make it in the remote town of Nuoro on the island of Sardinia. I want you to hear that again. 3 women on some remote island in Sardinia. The only people on the planet Earth that know how to make this. Well, how do we get a bite of it? What do we got to do? We got to go all the way out to the island, Nuoro? What are they doing? They're not shipping it around, are they? How do we know it's really delicious? How do we know it's threads of the gods? As a matter of fact, it doesn't sound godly at all. At the end of the day, if all you're doing, you're making your own and you're holding on to it, Nuoro. 3 women in the whole world. The question is, would you like to try it? Yeah. Yes. Of course I would. Of course, I'd love it. Ship me to Sardinia. RX, let's go. And you know what? I'm walking out with the recipe. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna put the charm. I'm gonna pop charm them. I'm gonna pop charm them, Mark Z, and we're gonna walk out of there. And you and I are gonna be the new threads of the gods guys. How long does it take to hard boil an egg? Normally, hard boil. Boiling an egg is one of the hardest things in the whole world for me to cook. Okay, I would do a misdemeanor. 15 minutes. I'm not even joking. I have a hard time cooking a good egg. What I hate is that when I go to open it or unshell it, when the shell sticks. And I can't beat that. I go to your house, I eat your egg, pop it open, no problem. Shell comes right off mine. I'm terrible. I'm a good cook, decent cook. I can cook a lot of good stuff. Hawk says a hard-boiled egg, 6 minutes on each side. That's funny. Waz, you're still allowed in class. Hard-boiled egg. To hard-boil an ostrich egg. Jesus Christ, in Australia. How long does it take to hard-boil an ostrich egg? Jesus Christ, in Australia, have you ever hard-boiled an ostrich egg? Ostrich egg. They're a little bigger than a regular old egg, right? According to this right here, it takes from 90 to 120 minutes to hard-boil an ostrich egg. So if I want a hard-boiled ostrich egg, what? 2 hours? 2 hours from now? Yep, that's how long it's going to be. Okay, store that away. How about this one? Where is that one? Oh, would you guys like Brock more? You know, my son Brock. Would you like him more? I mean, we love him, right? Everybody just loves Brock. I mean it. I've never heard anybody say anything mean or not. He's just that one of those guys that you like. Would you like him more if he smelled like bubblegum? If he smelled like bubblegum, would you like him just like 0.1% yes or no more? HB's thinking about it. If when he walked by, you got a waft of bubblegum, interesting. Huh? Would you like him? Nippy says if he smelled like chocolate. Let's go with bubblegum, though. What do you... Nerdy's like, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I personally... He isn't in here yet. He's in the back making me some capsules. I think I would. I know that's a hard thing for you guys to hear. I think I would. I think I'd like him to walk by a little more often. There goes some bubblegum. How's that? Brockzuka Joe. Who said that one? The Waz. Okay, Waz. Brockzuka, okay? Okay. How about this? McDonald's knew this. McDonald's knew this in advance. Son, come in here for a moment, would you? Come here, Brock. I mean, bubblegum. Brockzuka. Listen to this one. A bubblegum flavored broccoli was once created by McDonald's to get kids to eat more vegetables.
That's nasty.
No, bubblegum flavored broccoli. No, it was. It happened. Testing it on children didn't go well.
Really?
No, in fact, the candy flavored vegetable only caused confusion.
Oh, is it confusion?
In the kids.
Not internal distortion. Not growing confusion is what it caused. That's what it caused.
Brockzuka. Oh, I'm so confused. Well, who walked by? Why do you smell like bubblegum? I'm so confused. Midlife kids would hate that. Of course they would hate that. Who? The same guy that thought of that machine, that temperature machine, like charge more for the price, they thought of the same thing. Nerdy's like, it's confusing me. It confused me the first time he went by. I'm like, whoa, what the? Oh my goodness. I love you guys. Thank you. Brock, love you, man. That wasn't planned, poor kid. It was not planned. I read that this morning. I'm like, there's no, but I'm not as smart as was. I wish I'd have come up with Brockzuka. Darn it. Darn it, I'm slightly jealous. Okay. Good stuff this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Are you guys having a good time this morning? Give me 5 people that are having a good time on Herbie's birthday. Give me 5 people having a good time on Herbie's birthday. You having a good time? Okay. Bubblegum flavored Brockzuka. Okay. Happy birthday, Herbie. We're sending him a package. He doesn't even have to think about it. What we do want to do is we want to send this to you guys. I took a picture of this on my IG yesterday. It's not our biggest one by any means, but it's super cute. I couldn't figure out if it was a flower or a fruit. Or is it an iceberg? It could be one of 3 things. It could either be a flower, a fruit, or an iceberg. And then I got to thinking maybe it's 2 of 3. Remember me showing this little, looks like a flower. Or does it look like a fruit? Or does it look like an iceberg and you want to avoid it if you're in a boat? So now that we've looked at that, it's a kind of oniony looking, right? So now that we've looked at it, go ahead and give me the weight of it in grams and tenths of grams. Whoever comes closest without going over first will win it. Go. Closest without going over first. Go. I just gave you a little peek, and you can only answer once. You can only answer once. Give everybody a chance. You can only answer once, please. Okay, you guys have got some great numbers. I haven't seen one that's it quite yet. Okay, I see who's the closest right now. I have a closey. Okay, so far. I'll give it a couple more seconds here, and then I'm going to go ahead and award this to the person that's the closest without going over first. Okay, everybody's got their numbers in? We good? Am I good to do the reveal? Am I good? Here we go. I think I should be good. Get your questions in, get your answers in. Muddy Dog, it was how much does this little piece of iceberg fruit weigh? Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and reveal the answer now. I'm going to reveal the answer now because the answers are coming in slow and I'm not sure anybody else is going to answer. Okay, Muddy Dog, good job. You jumped right in there. Here we go. I'm going to reveal the answer now. Here we go. Answer reveal now. 3.3. Ignore this creepy old scale, but it's very accurate. 3.3. Anthony Tatum, I saw us at 3.2. I saw Anthony with a 3. Anthony Tatum with a 3.2. I think somebody's had a 3.4, but that's an over. So I'm thinking Anthony Tatum was the one that came the closest. Did you guys? Okay, the Muddy Dog. Anthony Tatum. So send me your address at the DetroitMushLab.net. Herbie's got it up there, tells you exactly what to do. Okay? Read what Herbie wrote as a message. Do exactly that so I can get this iceberg sent off to you. Okay? We have another giveaway that we'll do a little bit later. Okay? Good job. You guys had some great guesses in there. Anthony Tatum, though, he was the closest. Yesterday, we didn't talk about it, but we have been all week, or the last couple of weeks. So now our tubs, our mono tubs, have been colonizing after we've made the cakes with our substrate and our grain spawn. And we've been visiting them once a day for the 10 days, from day 4 to day 10. And we're looking at them, and usually when I say day 10, 9 out of 10 times, day 10 is about the time our cakes are ready. The timing in nature is, it comes out to pretty much the same if you're using the same formula and the same amounts and volumes, and your conditions are staying the same. So generally speaking, it's about a 10-day span from the time I've put that tub in, and I'm able to look at the surface of the tub, and it's very white, but it's not a thick, over-thicked white. If it's gotten to that point, it's probably, there's another thing that we could address, but it's usually not there by day 10. So now at day 10, you're looking at your cake, and you're saying, I feel like I should move this to fruiting now. Now, I remember for my first 3 or 4 months as I'm trying to figure out mycology, I have to be honest with you, and I'm not a dumb guy, but I used to what does it mean, move to fruiting? Do I have to have a whole nother room? Do I have to have, when it says, okay, I have I'm in a colonizing chamber, do I also have to have a fruiting chamber? Do I have to have 2 totally different areas, one set up for this, and then it says move to, and then I move the tub, I physically move it? The answer is no. The answer when we say move to simply means we're going to now change the conditions, the environment that we've been colonizing our tub in. Up until now, we've been colonizing it in the dark. We've been performing FAE on it maybe once a day. Been inspecting it, but it's stayed in the dark, and it stayed right at about 74 degrees. That's where we've left it. That's called the colonizing condition. Now we're going to move it to the fruiting condition. Give me a second here. Fruiting. Now I've said this a number of times, and I'll say it again because I kind of like the way I explain it. There's, excuse me. I'm still dealing with a big old cold, but we'll get over it. And I'm not cranky this morning, Niffy. I didn't wake up cranky. Okay? I woke up raring to go and happy to be here. In mycology, we can really start talking enzyme this and metabolic rate that, and we could make it complicated. And it's fun to understand the sciences and the botany, if there is such a thing relative to fungus. But I want to break it down to the simplest form. If you're a wild something in nature and your life is threatened, you're going to die. What a natural response in nature is, try to reproduce yourself before you die. That's what nature does. Nature's like, oh no, I'm dying off here. I gotta have a reproduction cycle because I'm checking out. They're taking me out. And that's what happens when we, excuse me, I'm a mess here. That's what happens when we go to fruit or fungus. The fruit is the mushroom itself. It's going to be the actual stem and cap and everything that comes off of the surface. And there's different sizes and different shapes and different strains, but we just call everything that we can take off of the cake, we call that the fruit. Okay? It's when we're dealing with like marijuana, that's called a flower. I remember being a little confused by that too. Like, why isn't it just called a mushroom? We call it fruit. Okay, and I kind of like that, especially later on, because it's an anonymous term. Okay, so the fruit the mushroom starts to fruit itself. This colonized patch of mycelium, white patch of mycelium. It's happy as can be. It's a happy little clam as it sits in there in the dark at 74 degrees and it just gets looked at and a little breeze blows across it once a day. It's happy. And it'll sit in there and just keep colonizing and colonizing. It might pin a little, but it's just going to get thicker and thicker and it's just going to stay in there all warm and cuddly and happy. Unless we come along and we're super mean. Now we have to kill it. We have to send that patch signals that it's going to die. I'm sorry, Patch, I made you, I loved you, I've told everybody to treat you with the utmost love and respect, etc. But today is the day I send you off to your death chamber. Today is the day that we're going to tell you you have about 14 days to live. So we now begin a fruiting condition to this mycelium network. And what we're going to do is we're going to rapidly change the environment. And when we do change the environment, what we're really doing is we're pretending, again, we're mimicking nature. Outside in nature, this is now when that mycelium network has reached the surface of the soil and it's starting to see sunlight. It's getting a 12-hour cycle of sun going across it. Usually it's in a shady spot, but it's getting light now. It's also getting a lot more wind across it because it's no longer underground. And its temperature might have changed a little, but not that much. So at this point right now, and the humidity, it's now going to experience a humid air. The wetter air around it that it wasn't experiencing while it stayed in a colonized condition underground. So if I increase the humidity, and I increase the airflow, and I present a light cycle to this tub that I've been colonizing, I'm signaling to that tub, you're above ground and you're dying. And in order to save your species, you need to send off fruit, and that fruit will sporulate and it'll recreate your colony. And the wind will blow some of those spores right over there, and your new colony patch will start right over there because you did create these beautiful fruits that sporulated. So that's up to us. It's up to us to tell that mycelium network, now's the time to be afraid that you're dying. The metabolic shift that causes a mycelial network to condense and form the highly structured mass of a fruiting body is still a bit of a mystery. As such, current practices for bringing about this transformation rely on us reproducing the environmental change that triggers fruiting in the wild. These include an increase in the relative humidity, an increase in fresh air. They're now getting a fresh oxygen air every day, every minute. The decrease in CO2 and decrease in ambient temperature and an increase in ambient light levels. Those are the things in nature that trigger it. So we do the same thing in our grow chambers. That's what we call moving it to fruiting conditions. The first two factors are the most important in assuring high yields and the full maturation of fruit bodies. In the design of all fruiting spaces, in your design of your fruiting space, it's best to provide enough fresh air for the mushroom to breathe adequately. So you're going to increase the fresh air supply. The exchange rate is in order for it to grow appropriately, we need a much more improved amount of oxygen flow over the fruit bodies. Not so much air, however, that we actually take humidity away. Not so much air that our humidity drops and then the mushrooms dry out. So that's why 4 to 6 times a day, I'm going to fan, I'm going to exchange my oxygen. And I'm also going to remist, recapture all the humidity and make sure when I walk away from my tub that it's not a wet cake, but it's wet air inside that tub till I revisit it. Okay? If humidity levels are not maintained at the recommended level, primordia, pins, may not develop, or they will abort easily. You got a whole bunch of a tray full of aborts. By the way, don't throw your aborts away. They still have plenty of psilocybin in them. They're very powerful little medicines still, but they're not exactly what we were looking for. That's not what you were growing. We don't grow for aborts. We don't grow for pins. However, there's plenty of stuff working in them, but the primordia may not develop. And usually the reason for that is we're not giving it something to reach up that wet air. The pins are going to stay this big. We're going to have stunted little stuff because there's no wet air that it's reaching up to grab and bring into itself. And I want to say eat, but that's not really what it does. It absorbs it. And then it takes the oxygen out of that air. And that's what it's breathing. And then it's exhaling CO2. So humidity is extremely, extremely important. And our FAE is extremely important. Fresh air exchange. Let's look at fresh air exchange for a little bit longer today. Okay, we've been talking about it for a week, and I know you guys are like, okay, we get it. But it's the most important, single most important ingredient in making sure that you have a good, successful grow. It's the single most important, and it's also the part you have to spend the most time. Because if it's a mechanical application, you don't have a system set up, an automated system. You have to actually go spend the time and enjoy your company with your mushrooms as you're learning, as you're getting feedback from them with every visit you take. The role of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Mushrooms, like humans, require oxygen for respiration, and they produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct, just like us. With high levels of CO2 early in the colonization time, it's one of the reasons we don't do we don't lift our lids more than once a day, because we don't mind for that first colonization period for our CO2 levels, our carbon dioxide levels, to stay higher inside our tub. Some people will take and put some kind of a covering over the top of the cake for the first 3 or 4 days, aluminum foil, and then they'll just poke a little bit of holes in there, and they'll leave that aluminum foil over the top of their cake for the first 3 or 4 days. They're doing that so the CO2 that's being released during that early colonization phase is being captured by that sealing of aluminum foil with just a little pinholes of escape, and it's holding the CO2 close to the surface, and it's actually going to create a faster colonization rate. So it's a little trick some people will use to speed up their colonization. When I say trick and I say speed up, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you nature doesn't do that. Nature isn't tricking anything, and they're not speeding up anything. Have we tried it? Yeah. Does it work? Yeah. Do I feel good about speeding up nature and tricking it? Not me. But it's something that's out there, and so it's a technique that people will do. They'll capture that CO2 for the first 3 or 4 days of colonization, remove that paper, or that, well, you can use wax paper too, wax paper, or remove the aluminum foil, and see what the results are. And this is one of those opportunities to really have fun in mycology too. Run 2 tubs. Run them side by side. Make them the exact same time, same way. Cover one with aluminum foil for the first 3 days, and don't cover the other one. and see what happens. And give you an opportunity to see what happens with your own setups and your own grows. Okay? While high levels of CO2 are beneficial during these early stages of mycelial colonization, oh, beware. They can inhibit mushroom development during the fruiting phase. Oxygen, on the other hand, is essential for the development and mushroom caps and stems. Simply put, oxygen promotes growth, while excessive CO2 hinders it. I like what Herbie said. I've never heard that before like this, maybe this last week. I had no idea what FAFO meant. I'm not sure I would say FAFO. I would probably go MAFO. Or EA, experiment around and find out, okay? Or mess around and find out. FAE, one of the most often overlooked benefits of fresh air exchange is its role in preventing contamination. In a stale, CO2-rich environment, harmful bacteria and molds find it easy to thrive. Hello, mycodermia. Hello, cobweb. Okay? Fool around. There you go, herbs. Okay. Providing fresh, oxygen-rich air not only invigorates the mycelial network, but also helps create an environment that is less hospitable for contaminants. This is particularly crucial in a closed air system like a monotub, where the risk of contamination can be high if not managed properly. In essence, FAE is not just about swapping air. It's also about creating ideal atmospheric conditions for your mushrooms to flourish while keeping harmful elements at bay. I'm going to read a couple more things here about our mushrooms and FAE. Signs that your monotub need FAE. By now, you should have a great idea of what FAE means. You're probably like, geez, okay, FAE. Good. We got to pound this one home to ourselves. This is the most important factor. You're going to find out 90% of the time you end up with some contaminant. You're not performing. It's something in your performance in the first place. Relatively, a few times it's something you brought into the game, a contaminant you didn't clean or sterilize correctly. But 9 out of 10 times, it's our mistakes. Okay? By now, and why it's crucial for optimal growth. How can you tell if your mushroom setup is getting enough FAE? Stunted growth. One of the most apparent signs that your monotub needs FAE is stunted mushroom growth. If your mushrooms appear to be smaller than expected, or they're taking longer than usual to develop, the likelihood is they're suffering from a lack of fresh, oxygen-rich air. How about if you have discolored mycelium? You have these patches of discolored mycelium. Should be this beautiful. It's this gorgeous white. Nature's white. I absolutely love a healthy mycelium. That color of white can't be described. And then there's sort of an off color. It's a graying or a yellowing. You'll get an off color. Okay? Discolored mycelium. It should generally be a vibrant white color, which indicates healthy growth. If you start noticing a discoloration, gosh, I said this, such as yellowing or even a slightly grayish tint, this could be a sign that your monotub environment is not as hospitable as it should be. Lack of proper air exchange will lead to a buildup of waste products on your surface and inhibit healthy growth. How about if you're experiencing excessive moisture? Proper FAE can regulate these moisture levels within your monotub. Excessive moisture leads to condensation on your monotub walls, and this can create an environment where bacteria and mold flourish. If you notice this happening, it's a sign that you need improved FAE. If after 4 hours you go in and you still have, it's still raining down the side walls inside your tub, you have excessive moisture, okay? You should either have just a light, and when we do spray our tub walls, we're not getting them like a shower. We're not doing it like it's Waz's green shower curtain time. No, it's an atomizer. It's a mist. A little whisk into the air above. Close the lid. Misty McMisterton. Nothing heavy duty with your moisture. You already did all the moisture that you really should have done when you did your field capacity, and you pre-soaked your grain spawn. Other than that, you just want the air to have wet oxygen molecules that are going to feed your fruit. Bad odor. What if you have bad odor? No, excessive moisture. Oh, I already did that. Bad odor. You ever opened up a tub and ew, it's not supposed to smell like that. Open up a bag, and you're like, oh. I often think it's sort of a chlorine-y smell. It's like chlorine-y. You'll get a sniff. With the subtle earthy or mushroom cells are normal, and they're even expected. But any strong, off-putting smell can be a clear sign that something's not right. Yeah, Sandy, it smells like mash. It usually means you have stagnant air. It can also mean you have way too much water has built up underneath the liner, between the liner and the bottom of your tub. You'll have a pool of water down there. You don't want a lot of that, and it's easy to get rid of. You just tip it out, making sure your cake stays okay, but you can easily tip that water out. Okay, so if you have an excessive amount, Herbie's right too. All of you guys are right. You guys have all smelt that smell. But then you get a bad odor. It's usually there's an abundance of water and you're getting a stagnant air. Poorly developed fruits. In some instances, you may notice that your mushroom caps are poorly formed, or the stems appear to be elongated and thin. Those extra thin stems, unless it's part of that strain's morphology, usually what's happening is that stem, that cap is going looking for some good air. It's taking off. It's reaching for the stars because it's not getting anything. And it's searching. And we're making this weak, wispy little thing. And it's very often what you see in your first fruits until you can really dial in your environment. And your mushrooms become stubbier and more chunky. And then what you're able to do is you find out your chunkiest. You go in and you clone that. And you keep that going for a little while. And you can work some really good genetics. Okay? But one of those things, when you see your shrooms stretching for the skies, that's usually because they're looking for moist air. They're looking for oxygen. They need oxygen molecules. So they're traveling looking for it. And then visible contaminants. These are going to be real obvious. They're usually green or they're cobweb. In the worst case scenario, poor FAE can lead to visible signs of contamination, such as mold spots or foreign growths. Any visible contaminants should be dealt with immediately to prevent the spread and potential ruin of your entire crop. If you can see it visually, it's already been in the air for a while, it's already spoiled it. Immediately, if you see a contaminant, get that thing out of your room. Get it out of the tent. Get its air away from anything else that it could contaminate. And start over. Or if you're like Pops, you've already got a 5-day cycle coming. So you're good. You just got to wait 5 more days and you'll be back at the same spot you're at right now. okay? But immediately remove that. Monitoring your monotubs for these signs will help you intervene in time to adjust your FAE and salvage or improve your harvest. Tomorrow we'll show you an homemade automated FAE system that you can do at home for $75 when you're tired of fanning. But I also recommend that you do that for your first quite a few grows so you can really get in touch with and used to what's going on inside those tubs. If you get an an automated system right away, you're not going to visit your tubs as often, and you're not going to learn, and you're not going to really know what's going on inside them. So I continue to preach that. So thank you for listening again today about FAE. All right, flowers. You know, I didn't used to be a flower guy. I'm still not like a bouquet flower guy, but the more I've been trying to be nature as a human being, the more flowers fascinate me. That's one of the reasons Nippy's garden and stuff is mind-boggling. It takes a lot of work. I didn't know this, Nip. It was in one of my rando factos. They harvest marigolds and do something with it, I don't know what. But there's a chemical inside marigolds. I've noticed she has this beautiful marigold garden. And they harvest marigolds and they put it in the chicken feed for the specific purpose of faking you and me out and making the egg yolk more orange when we crack it open. How do you like that? They figured that out. Gassy, I didn't know that. Gassy says 99% of men will receive flowers for the first time at their own funeral. 99%? Have I ever received flowers? Well, I receive so much. For the flower, it is fully opening. When's a flower fully open? This is a neat one. We're going to spend 10 minutes on this and do a giveaway. Niffy, I love your garden. When's a flower fully open? When it's in bloom, when it's ready. You know what this author says, and I love this. I love what he's going to say. It's fully open every single day of its life, of its cycle. It's as open as it could possibly be every moment of its life. It doesn't know the difference between what's open to it. Opens every part of its process. We do ourselves a great disservice by judging where we are in comparison to some final destination. You have this goal, and then you're not reaching the goal. You haven't reached it, and so you start judging yourself, and you start getting that whole victim thing, and then often when you're not reaching your goal, you just stop. And then you change your goal, you readjust, and then you get a little frustrated with yourself because you know you didn't really, that wasn't the real goal, but okay, you'll take the secondary one. This stuff happens all the time in so many different ways in our lives. Because we're judging ourselves against that final destination. We're only thinking of the destination. We're only thinking of the end result. If all I thought about was that I'm judging myself against the idea of a retail store on Main Street in Ferndale, then I wouldn't be doing the work that I do now. The pain of one of the pains of aspiring to becoming something or doing something is these stages of development that we have to go through. There are stages of development. The rose goes through them. The marigold goes through them. I have to too. We're always in some kind of a stage of development. The simple rose, this is going to be beautiful. I'm going to read it directly as he says it. I was reading this morning, and I literally said, the funniest thing is I had already done this plan for a giveaway, and then I found this reading. The simple rose. Have a good day, Red Boy. At each moment of its slow blossoming, the simple rose is as open as it can possibly be. I love that. At each moment of its blossoming, it's as open as it can possibly be. I would submit that when it's fully open, it's now dying. Right? In terms of natural cycle. So is fully open dying? Is fully blossomed ever possible? The simple rose. The same is true of our lives. In each stage of our unfolding, we are stretched as much as possible. For the human heart, it's quite slow to blossom and is only seen as lacking when we compare it to the imagination of our destination. We only find ourselves lacking when we compare it to the imagination of our destination. We're not lacking if we're just experiencing the blossoming. That's the natural state. It's the human to say, oh, I forget that I'm even blossoming because I'm comparing myself to some imaginary further destination. It helps to see ourselves as flowers. If a flower were to push itself open, to be faster, which it can't, it would tear. Yet we humans can often do push ourselves. Often we tear in places no one else can see. When we push ourselves to unfold faster or more deeply than is natural, we thwart ourselves. For nature takes time, and most of our problems will stem from our lack of patience, from our not enjoying the blossoming process. These unending, relentless pushes to measure up against some imagined form of self, that makes the mind's flower tear. I love it. I get it. We're all so guilty of this because we've been culturated to push ourselves and not enjoy the blossoming in and of itself. Perhaps one of the hardest remedies to accept for our pain, just the pain of becoming, is that whatever we are in our path, no matter how flawed or incomplete, no matter what we are or where we are, we're blossoming. However much we've done at the end of the day, it's more than enough. You're still a dream becoming truth. Treat yourself like a rose, like a beautiful flower. And I've been softer with myself. It's the new pops. Be soft with ourselves and enjoy the blossoming. The tears in our mind, they're self-inflicted. They're self-inflicted. Nobody comes along and tears my mind more than I do. And I'm tearing it, I'm causing more pain because I'm not just happy with the blossoming moment I'm having. But I'm learning, I'm getting better at that. And I'll tell you when I blossom the most. Personally, my blossoming comes when I'm creating. When I'm growing stuff, I'm painting stuff, I'm giving, I'm wrapping presents, I'm reading so I can share. When I read, I'm reading to give. My reading isn't, we talked about that earlier today. I'm not going to be one of the three, I'm not blaming those ladies. They have a reason to have their recipe. But I don't want a recipe that only 3 people in the world know. I want a recipe that all of us understand. I want a recipe that we can all share. And when I'm doing recipes that work for everybody, I'm blossoming. It's just, what a beautiful life we live. We live it because we didn't wake up and choose to be cranky. We woke up and said, you know what, I don't know what I'm gonna look like when I'm completely open rose, but the little rosebud itself, it's a really cutie, isn't it? I'm almost like the little bud before it turned all the way, and then it starts wilting around the edges, and I don't know. And when I look at those, I don't judge the rose and say, well, you're not far enough along yet. But I can do that to myself. And when I do, I'm just experiencing my own mental tears. I love that stuff. Let's do a giveaway. What's the giveaway going to be? Well, Pops, it's the funniest darn thing. This morning I was like, I don't want to always do numbers. And I don't want to, the scale game's fun too. But I hate to, I'm scared to show too much fruit live anymore. So early this morning, before I wanted to go find a neat reading this morning. And before I even found it, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write down the name of a flower. And the first person to say the name of the flower that I write down is going to win a prize. And the next thing you know, I find a reading about flowers. And I'm like, I love my universe. Right, Niffy? You're a beautiful flower there, doll. Give me a name of a flower. Go. Please only give me one at a time. Give everybody a chance to answer. Give me a name of a flower. I wrote it down right here on a piece of paper. Which one did I write down? Which name did I write down? Badgie. Badgie's killed the game. Badgie. You're absolutely right. Badgie said daffodil, and Pops wrote down daffodil. Sure enough. Badgie, I have your address, so you don't even have to send it. Boop, we're going to send you off a supplementary supplement package that's going to be 3.5 grams plus to the Badgie Badgerton. I love Badgie. Do you guys want to do that again? Who wants to try that one more time? What if we erase all of those flowers that you guys mentioned and we start again? Do one more. Go. Do one more. Give me one more. I wrote down another one. Satyr killed the game. Satyr knew it. I wrote down Petunia. And Satyr Wolf already did it. Sorry, you guys. Satyr. Ow! Satyr Wolf. Okay, those are the only 2 I had already written down. We'll do some more stuff tomorrow. Satyr and Badgie and the gentleman that won I forget who it was, that won the scale game. Those 3. Get that information to me, and we will get these prizes out to you. Okay? You guys, I had a beautiful day today. Anthony Tatum, that's who it is. I'm writing that down, Anthony. Thank you, my friend. Okay, those are our 3 winners for today. And tomorrow we'll get some more. Okay, I love giving stuff away here, but I have to be really careful because the post office is seeing so many packages fly through here. I have to bring it down and rein it in. And Pops likes going 100 miles an hour, and I find out 75 is safer. Did you know that, Kim? 75 is just 100's fun. 100's normal. 75 is safer. Have a great day, you guys. And happy birthday to Anthony Tatum. I'll always take like maybe five miles per hour over. Herbie Von Werby, Kabroken Furby. Have a beautiful day, my friend. And thank you for everything you do here for us. Oh, put your name down. I got to send Herbie Werby, Kaverby, Kabop. Some kind of a Herbie Kaverby. Okay. Have a great day. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Can we grow together? Can we keep growing together? Give me 5 people says yes, Pops. Can we keep growing together? Can we understand the whole blossoming thing? Stop worrying about what we're going to look like when we're completely blossomed. We're open right now. Like this thing is open. It's as open as it's going to be for right now. In a little while, you'll be even more open. Boop, boop, boop. We keep opening up. We keep blossoming. Let's have a great day, you guys. Cleany and Nippy and Trenty and Nerdy and HP and Midlife and Neo Simplex and Freddy and Tony's gonna be there and Scotty P and City and B Hendricks and Clippin' and Dippin' and Nippy and Midlife and let's go, Derek Anderson. Grow. Herbie and Sandy Rippling and Married Michael and Summer Wheat and Satter and Cat Meow. Zilla and Tony and Pilar and Joe Tees and Married and Michael Shanty Patterson, Kimberly, Wazzy, Waz all green over there, Sarah Bear, Lebowski, is this Lebowski? Clifford and Summer Wheat, Neil Simplex, Michael Allen, Laura, have a divine day. Badgie, I did some FAE this morning, and then I had to, I used underarm deodorant afterwards. Midlife, Mike Parable, Jesus Christ, Exception, have a beautiful day. Jolie, you too, Neo Simplex, Jesus Christ. Herbie Von Werby, birthday boy. Nurse, I see her. Nipper, Kim, Fleeking It, Jesus Christ, Ghastly. Satterwolf, Jonathan K. For the rest of the day, Jeroro, HB, Jonathan K. Nippy, Lebowski, Jesus Christ in Australia, J. Anthony, Tatum Midlife, HB, JW on the Oswaldo Villa Gomez. I like the name. Nipper, HB, Jesus Christ in Australia. Have a good day. Be impeccable. Don't take things personal. Don't make assumptions. Those are all, we can do all of those, especially if we're doing our best. See you tomorrow.